Hey y'all, I'm Locklith and I am so excited to talk to y'all about garden buddies. So you will unleash your inner gardener and immerse yourself in the serene world of garden buddies, cultivating a vibrant flower garden alongside your new friend, Mutzi, who is in fact very adorable, and discover an enchanting and fulfilling experience to release your stress. And releasing your stress and mental health is a big factor in this game, but this game has released today as you are seeing this video on October 20th on Nintendo Switch for $14.99 or 15 USD if you are in the US, but it was developed by Jampics and it was published by Red Deer Games. I also wanted to give a big thanks to Red Deer Games and the developers for providing me a code to play this early for y'all, and I did play it all the way through, so I have a lot of thoughts on Garden Buddies today that I will go over, but I did want to say a big thanks to them. Thank you so much. This game has meant a lot to me, but I also wanted to say that at the start of the video. All right, let's get back to it. But yes, it has released today on Switch as you are watching this, but I do want to go over some of my pros and cons in this game. I will start with the cons because there aren't many at all. So for one, the loading screens are a bit long, but you know, sometimes we have to adjust when we're playing things on Switch. And then the other thing is it just wasn't a long enough game for me, in my opinion. It only took me like an hour and a half to finish the game, but you know, there are things you can go back to and we'll get into that. So my first pro is graphically, it looks incredible. It looks stellar. There's actual like camera blurring and focusing that not a lot of games like take into consideration or actually do very well. And a lot of the times it's more artistic style. This is, you know, three-dimensional. The characters look very realistic, even though they still have those little cutesy little eyes. There's still like a glare and like a realness to it, which is really nice. So graphically, it looks stellar. It looks really great. It's giving me that Viva Pinata vibes from Xbox back in the day, and that was one of my first things as to why I wanted to play the game. Yeah, it reminded me of that, and I watched this game during the Wholesome Games Direct earlier this year, and I knew off the bat when I started tearing up over Mutzi the apple that I wanted to play this game. So graphically, it was great on Switch. No concerns there, and the music is obviously serene and so nice. I did wear headphones for once when I played this game, which is a rarity for me. I tend to just listen through my computer speakers, but play through your headphones. You have to listen to the music and take it all in with headphones on. Trust me. Another pro is there's a wide spread of mini games. So there are several games like a Simon Says like game that you play with like dancing. You kind of have to follow the leader in that way. There's like a Guitar Hero-esque type of game, which was actually kind of difficult, and I'll have to go back and try to 100% it myself, but it was also very fun, and you can give your friends a bath. There's just so many different fun features and mini games throughout the story in the game, and you're playing several days in the game, if that makes sense. It doesn't take place in real time. You know, you just go throughout the day, you do what you need to, you help your friends, you decorate your garden, and then you start a new day. So it takes place over several days, and that's the entire game as a whole. But throughout that, there are several mini games. Talking about the decorating mechanics, it's very simple, very streamlined. Once I got used to the buttons, it was not difficult to do. You can spin around the items and place them, you can remove them, but I think the fun feature of getting the items that were crafted in a way to decorate your little garden is it's all with the help of your friends. So you spread out flower seeds and flowers just start popping up throughout the garden, and your little friends and more friends come as you progress through the days, by the way. But as you spread out those flower seeds, your friends go out and collect those flowers, and based on however many flowers are collected, you can add different things and features to your garden. And as you add certain items, some of those bigger items, then that's how the story kind of progresses. So if you want to stay in that decorating mode for a little longer, maybe don't place some of those larger items because it impacts the story. Now, number 5, and the biggest pro for this game, and kind of encapsulates the game as a whole and is the whole premise of why I love this game, is that it's all anchored with mental health related things. So there are mental health related games that you go through at the end of every day. So something like the breathing exercise was a big plus, where you're taking a breath in, holding that breath, releasing that breath, and you're doing it all with Mutsi at the end of the day. And it's so calming, y'all, that I teared up the first time. And I'm just thinking about it now. It made me tear up when I first saw some of these mental health related things. And that was just such a small thing that we don't think about doing, that they had here in the game, that is just a big plus. And I really enjoyed that bit. It asked after I finished 3 days in the game if I wanted to take a moment to step away, to do something else, to go take a sip of water. Like, it takes mental health and, small things in mind, and kind of, it's almost like a check-in with you throughout the game within different moments that I just really appreciated. There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise that I didn't even know was a thing. 5 things you can see, listing out, maybe out loud, 5 things you can see around you, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and then, if it makes sense, 1 thing that you can taste. And it's just thinking about those things and just taking in what is in your control in that moment to make you feel less anxious. And I feel like it actually helped me. I wasn't feeling anxious when I played this game, obviously, but overall I felt very serene and very, very in the moment, very grounded, I guess, in a way. And I think that's another way to kind of get grounded with it as well. There was like positive words of affirmation, which is something I do think about and I'm not good about. I lean more towards telling myself negative things. And so it takes a lot to think of the positive and to take that moment to list those out for yourself, because we're always mean to ourselves in our brains. Our brains are very mean. And so taking a moment to think of the positives was something that the game made you think about. There's no obstacle that I can't overcome. Saying that out loud during a heavy moment is not something you think of. This obstacle, seems like a lot, but if you just tell yourself that there's no obstacle that I can't overcome, it does a lot for your brain. It's that positive affirmation that you can get through it. Saying something as simple as, I'm unique, I'm loved, I'm important. That's hard for us to say to ourselves. And so something like this game, having those check-ins and those reminders, is something that just made the game so lovely to me. And just overall, I loved this game. If that doesn't, come across to y'all, I really loved this game. I knew I was going to love it, but just getting through it and playing it, that 1.5 hours, yes, it seemed very short, but I can go back and play some of those mini games. I can go back and catch bugs. I can stack rocks. I can do those breathing exercises again at the end of, my IRL day. Maybe it's one of those games that I just pick up, decorate a little bit in my garden, visit my friends that I've met that are now a part of the garden forever. Or, there are 3 save spots. You can start it all over again on a second save. I think this was the game that I needed this weekend. So I have a lot going on in my life. I won't get into it. And so I wanted to take a moment to play this game and play this game for y'all. I didn't know how it was going to impact me when I played it, but it was definitely something I needed and made me tear up in a good way. And I'm tearing up now just thinking about it, because I played it literally last night. And it's just something that, if you want to spend $15 to play it, you can also play it on Steam. It is available on Steam as well if you don't want to play it on Switch. But I just think the coziness of having it on a Switch, playing it in bed, having those breathing exercises that I can get back to, and I can go and decorate. It's a nice winding down game, I would say. So I definitely say, if you want to play it, don't rush it. Take it one day at a time. Maybe play day 1, and then the next day, IRL, play day 2. Take your time with it. But I definitely recommend, if you struggle with like mental health things and just need something to ground you, to wind you down, to make you think about the little things again. So thanks again to the publishers, developers for providing me a code to play this game for y'all and to review it. But like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you've enjoyed this review of Garden Buddies. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to check it out and try it for yourself. And thank y'all so much for watching.